How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Between the Lines. Today, it's our final episode of the football season. I can't believe that we are already here and it is over. It feels like yesterday we were talking about week one, which is crazy, but we have the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl Sunday, Patriots, Seahawks in San Francisco. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of fun props to talk about, and my guy Ralph from MyBookie is here with us as well. We're going to have a great time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And without any further ado, let's talk about the big game. And now I am over here with my good friend Ralph. Ralph, how are we feeling? How are we doing? Are we ready for Sunday? What's the vibes? Let me know.
It's a little different for a guy who does prop bets for pretty much a living, for a guy who's been doing this for almost 25 years, doing Super Bowl coverage in sports books. Just kick the ball off. That's what I think right now. I wish it was Sunday, but I mean, the craziness of doing prop bets is pretty much over now. You'll just throw out one or two if you miss one, or if someone wants you to do one. It's the heaviness is over. But now it's, you just look at the money coming in, you see what people like, you get to see celebrities who they like. Everyone's who Drake gonna pick. That's one of the prop bets as well. But it's gonna be very interesting what Sunday does. I think we're gonna see a very, very good game.
Yes, I think it's going to be incredible as well. And a quick disclaimer before we get into talking all things Super Bowl is that some of the lines might change from when we post it now. I don't know how much change there's really going to be on the Super Bowl. I feel like it's kind of set in stone there. But if anything does move, I'll post about it on all other MyBookie socials, which are all down below. But here's the game. First off, for the record, my fault. First off, my NFL record, which is not the best. But last weekend, we did talk about it, that we were going to sweep the board, and we swept the board on the AFC and the NFC Championship, and we said we're going to go out winning in the playoffs. And we got one more game to do that, Ralph. One more, but also a ton of prop bets on top of that. But here is the game. Sunday at 5:30, the Seahawks at New England, even though it is closer to Seattle. But New England is the home team in San Francisco. It's beautiful. It's great. I'm so excited for this game.
It's gonna be very interesting because if the number does move, there's two scenarios you have to look at. Everyone's betting the Patriots, but why would you take 4.5? If you think New England is going to win the Super Bowl, then they're betting just the money line. The big bets around the U.S. and here all over the world have all been on New England. So if that's the case, then why is this number not moved to 5.5? Because that big money is also coming in on Seattle, not the big cash that we've seen. So it's going to be very interesting if there's those big bets continue to come in on New England money line, because that's the only thing that's going to drop this number maybe to 4, which I don't think. You said it correctly. I think it's going to close between 4.5 and 5, unless continue Boston, because there's a lot of big famous Boston people. Hey, maybe we'll get some Wahlberg money coming in on the Patriots that would drop this to 4. But you said it correctly. I don't really see that much line movement. Maybe a half a point or give or take.
I don't see anything crazy. But first, before we talk about the actual game itself, I mean, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and we got to start off with the national anthem. Charlie Puth is the singer this year. One of the best props to bet is the over-under. How long is it going to be? Ralph, what do you think about this one?
Well, this one opened up around 122, 123. So maybe a little practices came out or something like that. They're betting the over on this one. I won the under because what did I just say? The opening statement: kick the ball off. I'm going to bet the under so we can get this game going. So give me the under at 126.
You see, this one's just a fun one. You just pick a side and you see what happens. And for me, honestly, I got to ride with the public on this one, and I got to take the over at 126 seconds. Just give me Charlie Puth. You need to stretch that home of the brave for as long as you can. One of the best sweats in sports. I absolutely love it. Over 126 seconds. And then right after the national anthem, we have my favorite bet of Super Bowl Sunday, and that is the coin toss, which somehow I looked back at my records and everything. I have won the coin toss the past 3 years. The past 3 Super Bowls, I'm 3-0.
So what did you have those 3 years? What, pins and needles? You gotta give us what you had the last 3 years.
I had shit. But every single year I always forget which it was. But I know exactly what I have this year. And the way that I usually decide it, and what I did the other day, is I literally took a coin and I just did best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3. And what I love is when I just get 2 in a row and it's done. It's over. And the one that was 2 in a row this year is heads. I love heads. That's what I wanted from the get-go. I had a weird feeling. I'm like, you know what? This is going to be the moneymaker right here. Heads is my go-to. What about you?
I always go with gut. Tails never fails. No one has there has not one streak of no 7 times or more heads or tails. A couple times 4. I think heads has 5 times it's hit in a row. I think a couple times it's hit 4 times tails and heads, but no one has gone past the 6 straight coin flips in a row. So it's gonna be very interesting. But I'll go tails. I'll go battle with you.
Okay, that's fine with me. I love heads. It's going to be heads this year, and I'm going to freak out when it does hit. It's going to be awesome. Give me heads there, and then we go over. We need ourselves a first touchdown score. The game has begun now. Now we're underway in the Super Bowl, and there's a couple good options out there. People love to go crazy with their first touchdown scores, and I did a little bit, nothing too crazy. First off, what do you think?
I love chaos. I still remember when your boy from the Chicago Bears, I'm never going to mention his name. Someone that hit a punt return back, and everyone bet that prop bets. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to mention his name because I still have nightmares when the Bears Hester ran one back. But I'm going to say defensive touchdown. I'm thinking a pick 6. So I'm going to say the defensive touchdown scores first. I like craziness. I like nuts. Give me a defensive pick 6 touchdown.
A defensive touchdown, man. That Devin Hester return at the beginning of the Super Bowl was just unbelievable. And one of the dumbest decisions ever to kick it to him. Like, why would you do that?
We had so much action. I remember with Sportsbook in Vegas I was working with, and when he crossed the 50-yard line and I don't think anyone touched him, I'm like, boy, it's going to be a long day.
That's nuts. That's actually crazy. But for this one, I kept it a bit simple. I think that New England's going to start off with the ball. They're going to go out there 3 and out. They're going to be done. Seattle gets the ball back. They drive down the field and give me a Cooper Kupp first touchdown right in the middle of the end zone, right in the middle, plus 1,400, just like his touchdown in the NFC Championship. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. I love Mr. Cooper Kupp. But then we have a pretty good first half. We could see which way the game's going, but then we get to halftime. Bad Bunny, which I actually personally, I think he's going to put on a hell of a show. I think it's going to be really good.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy in this, and there's another show, I guess, that's going on there. But people just don't understand. If we're going to complain about the NFL halftime show, let's complain about the NFL teams going to France, Germany, England, Mexico. The NFL is a global game. Complain about the NFL's going to all those other countries if you're going to complain about the halftime.
Right before this, it was announced that the team's playing in Australia next year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's Rams 49ers in Australia, which is kind of crazy to me. A divisional matchup on the other side of the world. I feel like divisional, you would kind of keep that at home, but yeah, it's a weird advantage. But we need a first song. What he's going to open up with, and I went with the only Bad Bunny song that I really know, because obviously I can't understand a single word he's saying. It's good music, but I don't know what he's saying. TT Me Pregunto, good song, minus 110 somehow for him to start off with it. So that's what I went with.
I agree that way. It's the most popular song that people know about. They don't know the words of it, but they know about it. I'll be blown away if he starts with something else, if not this one.
And it's a very hype song. It's a very it will get people going right away. So that's why I went with this one. And then he has a couple other ones that are more like somber that he'll do throughout the show. I wonder if he's going to bring anybody out too. I don't know if that's been announced yet, but
they keep those secrets. The last couple of Super Bowls they haven't. Remember, everyone thought when Justin Timberlake, they thought NSYNC was going to come out. He did the whole thing by himself last year. Drake, or not Drake, Kendrick Lamar. He did the whole thing by himself. So it wouldn't shock me if he brings no one out.
Yeah. You remember still back in the day when SpongeBob came out on there? That was
Yeah. The
the
best
time.
halftime show I've seen, and I didn't get to see it live because I was working in a sports book, was when Prince out there in the rain in a guitar playing a halftime show. Hats off to
Yeah.
Prince on that one.
Purple Rain in the pouring rain. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just that's perfect. But then we get over from halftime shows and we got to talk about the actual ball game now. Because now we're starting to get to the end of the game. We're getting done. After halftime, that's when I cut off all the fun prop bets. That's when we're locked in on the second half of football. Ralph, who do you got? What are we feeling on the Super Bowl here?
I'm going to stick with what I thought was going to win the Super Bowl, and with the Rams. I thought whoever won the Rams Seahawks game was going to win the Super Bowl, and Seattle won that game. I think Sam Darnold gets rid of the ghost. I think he has a really good game. I think Kenneth Walker has a really good game. People think he's going to have a good game running. I would look at his receiving yards of Kenneth Walker. I just think Seattle overall, they're just riding so high. Their defense is playing so good. I know New England's defense is playing really good, but I look at schedules. I know people are like, oh, you just play what's in front of you. Seattle had a tough division and a tough way to get in here. I'm going to take Seattle. I'll take the 4.5. I still haven't placed my bet yet. I'm playing Seattle. I just think we're going to have more money line bets come in, and I'm just hoping that we move it to 4.
So, at last weekend, I made a 2-leg parlay, right? And even though I know you hate the parlays, you hate them. This one, because I like one of these teams, but they're the favorites, the Seattle Seahawks, and I hated the spread. I hated it. And I wanted to get them at even or plus money. So I went over to my good friend, the UFC, and I took Alexander Volkanovski money line. And I parlayed it with the Seahawks. And now I'm sitting here and I have Seahawks money line sitting at plus 145, which I absolutely love. I am very happy with that. But if I had to touch the spread in this game, give me Seattle minus 4.5. I think they're going to keep it close until about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They go and score a touchdown. The dagger is hit, and the Seattle Seahawks get their revenge from the last Super Bowl matchup against the Patriots. They get their revenge. Dave Portnoy, I've seen him walking around the whole week with Richard Sherman's face on it after the interception, which is just a tough blow. That's a brutal blow.
Yeah, it's bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see the whole game. This is a great live bet game. Log on MyBookie during the game, and you can live bet this. Because what if New England kicks a field goal first, 3-0? You're going to get such a better number than 4.5 because New England is now winning 3-0. If you like Seattle, same thing with the Patriots. What if the Seahawks score first? What if they put up 7 points right away? Now you're probably going to maybe win double digits on a live bet. I still think we're going to have a really good game. This is a great Super Bowl to live bet.
100%. And then also chucking another prop out there that I forgot to put on here because after I made this, I remembered about this prop and I'm like, oh my God, one of my favorites in the Super Bowl is the over on how many players take a passing attempt, which that essentially means the line is always 2.5 every year because obviously you have your 2 quarterbacks. So that's 2. But if there is some trick play where Drake May passes it out to Stephon Diggs and Stephon Diggs chucks it deep, the over cashes. Or if a running back gets a screen pass and then he just chucks it, whatever. Any way it works, I love taking the over every year. And it's plus money. It's usually like plus 200 every year. Give me some trickery. Give me some fun. Just a sprinkle on there. And then we go over to finally, we both had the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. And what happens right after they win? The Gatorade shower. What do you like, Ralph?
Yeah, I think lime green's going back to back because what colors jerseys sometimes has a little lime green in it? The Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going lime green. The Eagles did it last year. Now we're going to go back to back with lime green. I don't know what the it's plus money. I think it's 350, so I don't have that in front of me right now. But
yeah,
give me lime green. Even though purple is my favorite, but give me lime green.
You see, I'm a homer at the end of the day, and I just went with my favorite Gatorade flavor, and I keep it simple, and I went with orange plus 250. I love the orange Gatorade. It's a tie between that or the lemon lime. Those are my 2 favorites, I think. But
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Now, we're talking about prop bets, and I just want to mention this. before we get out of here. This is a Super Bowl. It's one game. Have fun. You shouldn't be sweating a color of Gatorade. You shouldn't be sweating on these fun profits and the coin toss. You're supposed to be having fun when you watch this. It's the last game. You're eating stuff you shouldn't be eating. You're drinking stuff that you shouldn't be drinking. Enjoy the game.
Yes. Don't throw your life savings on a Gatorade color because you heard from your brother's uncle's cousin's dog that the Seahawks only drink purple Gatorade. Yeah. Have fun with it. Have a good time. Don't throw too much on it, but we still have one last bet because we need a Super Bowl MVP, and this makes it easy for us since we're both on Seattle. Who do you got?
I would love to say a defensive player would, but if the Seattle Seahawks win and win, let's say big or have a nice game, they have to give it to Sam Darnold. He has to get rid of the ghost. He lifts the trophy, and you actually see the ghost lift out of him and fade away. I like Sam Darnold, but if Kenneth Walker has a monster game receiving, and then let's say he breaks one on running, that's a nice plus money ticket. But I'm going to go with Sam Darnold, and the ghosts are relieved.
Well, you just brought it up for me. I am going with, because I want a little plus money on this. I got a little bit greedy. I'm going with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
I'm going with Kenneth Walker plus 800. I think he has a monster run. I also might sprinkle a little bit on Cooper Kupp as well. If that first touchdown cashes and it's a long first touchdown and he just has a monster game, why not? JSN, I don't hate it either. I'm literally just naming off the Seahawks offense, but I just love Seattle in the Super Bowl. I think that they are going to do a great job and they're going to go out there and make it easy for us.
Can you imagine if Cooper Kupp won it? He was the MVP with the Rams when they won it. So he would have he would have 2 MVP trophies with 2 different teams. That'd be fantastic.
That would be nuts. That would be absolutely crazy. But I can't believe that we're done. The last episode Between the Lines. Maybe we end up doing something for
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness would be cool. We do something like that, just go through the brackets, whatever. But thank you all so much for watching all football season long. I'll say more of that in the outro, but thank you so much, Ralph, for joining us this season. We'll definitely have more next year, 100%. We'll have more episodes, everything. It was awesome. Thank you all so much once again for watching Between the Lines all season long. Our first year of doing this at MyBookie, and my God, it was such a good time. Hopefully next year our NFL record is a bit better. College football, we did end positive, and we had actually pretty positive. I think that we were 10 bets up in college football this year. We need to work on the NFL just a little bit, but thank you all so much for watching all season long. I truly do appreciate it. We have more content coming out all off season long, a bunch of casino stuff, some March Madness stuff, maybe even some baseball in there, some big UFC cards. We could talk about that. Thank you all so much for watching all year. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Deuces.